I think it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, good.
Good to go? It does appear to see live streaming is on.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good.
Right, cool. Please stand for the karakia. Wakataka te hau ki te wakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā tara tara ki tai, he ake ana te akatura, he tio, he huka, he hau honga, te he Waimāero. Thank you, everybody. We will open the meeting at 4:31 p.m. First item on the agenda we have is apologies. So we have an apology from Nicola. And do we have any other apologies though?
Just for lateness.
James for lateness. Perhaps have a mover for that, please. David, happy to move, and Suresh, happy to second. All in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Declarations of interest. I have a declaration of interest on the discretionary response fund because my daughter goes to the kindergarten that we're giving the funding to. So I will get Bridget to step in and chair that agenda item, and I will sit back from the table. If anyone has any other conflicts, please just raise them at that agenda item during the meeting. Part 3, confirmation of the previous minutes. I'm happy to move that if I can have a seconder, please. Now, Aaron got me on that one there, David. So all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. And then we move on to number 4 on the agenda, the public forum. So first up, we have the Northwest Sports and Community Hub. Sam and Richard will come up and speak. If you guys want to come up, I think we've got 5 minutes and then questions.
Cool. Is that presentation already loaded?
Yep. Sweet.
So will that go on the front page? Yeah, okay, cool. Does that mean when you're ready to go?
Yep, just bring it up. All yours.
And do I just point at you when you want me to? Okay, cool. Hey, I'm Sam and this is Richard. So we're from the Northwest Sport and Community Hub. We also have support from our board members, Di and Jody, here today. So a brief introduction of who we are. So a group of sporting clubs came together over multiple codes to see the need in the Northwest area, which is sort of, Northwest, Bishopdale, Redwood, Papanui, Harewood, etc. And they see the view, and they've seen historically hubs have been established all around the country, and they work together and they create great use of spaces, great efficiencies and great equities for their communities and great outcomes. So we have the support of Sport Canterbury and a number of the RSOs or regional sport organisations as well. So after formation and with our clubs and the founding members, we started a process. So Aidan, sorry. So, and next one. So there's a list of our founding clubs and our partner organisations. Next one. Yep, next one. So we start off by having a number of workshops. Our initial workshop had not just our founding members, but we had 23 community entities come to this workshop. This included sports clubs, schools and the RSOs. We also had members of the council at this workshop. So I think that was Angela Leatherby and Helen Miles that were there. That led us to a, click again. So that led us to a follow-up working group to discuss the initial needs people were talking about. We then had a follow-up and then we sort of dived down deeper into those needs. April 24, so click again. So this identified the Numwat Park as a real potential area. So we had groups and actually Jason was there on that night as well. We had the potential users and current users of Nunwick Park. There to discuss what opportunities and what the needs are to make this space greater. So, Aidan. So Nunwick Park, as you can see, is a vast space with huge potential for great utilisation. It's got untapped, and it'll be absolutely beneficial to the wider Norwest community. Currently, the facilities are just a toilet block with a small amount of storage, which doesn't service the needs of all the users and more of the potential users. Yep. So identified the areas that needed investment improvements that included the field drainage, the current toilet blocks, changing sheds, improved lighting, and community space on the field as well. Yep. And this would lead to far greater usage year round, more flexible delivery of the sport, so such as midweek delivery to meet the needs of the users, safe and inclusive environments, removal of barriers by having good changing facilities for such as females and gender diverse, and greater, more efficient utilisation of the spaces, along with a shared community hub for multiple users. Yep. So the outcome is it's like a great shared space that a lot of clubs and a lot of users can use. Yep. And what can we do together in partnership? Yep. So what we want is a master plan to be developed in partnership with the Norwest Hub, the Christchurch City Council and the community boards to benefit the future generations, so we can turn this space into a great central hub for all the users in our community. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much. Time for some questions.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation, and it's a great example of the community collaborating and coming together for a really great cause. Where you say community spaces, is an example of that, like facilities to store things, or are you looking for like a space where people can congregate and?
Both. So storage facilities are needed, but also we've seen in other hubs where multiple clubs are using that space, whether it's for social activities and open to members in the community as well, such as the Tapu Community Centres, quite successful out in at Rhodes Park.
Yeah.
Yep.
The place could have a bar or something like that. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Was there any questions for anyone else on that one? Yeah.
So at this point, does your group have money towards the project, or
so we
looking for council to stump as much as possible?
well, that would obviously be ideal, but we have support from
your new latest rates, right?
Yeah. We've got support from Sport Canterbury already, and then we'll liaise with our member clubs, and also there's a lot of funding opportunities out there. It's just been seen recently that high school old boys at Hagley have just built a new facility, so that it's definitely achievable. And we have multiple clubs where they were just one.
Sam?
Yeah, hey, thanks. That's really, really good. And obviously just keep us in the loop as you progress through. We can help out how we can. I just wondered, in one of the slides before you had the Kind Foundation, I wonder, have you talked to the Rata Foundation?
So that will be, the Kind Foundation is sort of a new entity. But the Rata Foundation, once we have, I guess it's because it's council land, we need their permission to do it. Once we have that permission, then the Rata Foundation is the next step. But yeah, we do have them sort of ear tag there. They will be one of the partners in that. Yeah.
And just the only other thing is, and so from following now, what are the kind of things you need from us? Sort of in the near future.
So I suppose it's more about for the community board to be our advocates in regards to feeding through into the council parks team and so forth, to I suppose work through and how we can partner as an organisation and as teams to look at Nunwick Park as a feasible opportunity to turn that into a more usable space, and obviously highlighting all those areas that have been presented to you. That's the key part. That's the first step that we really need. So if we can get some advocacy from the community board, that'd be appreciated.
And if you've got a drawing or schematic of what you're looking at there, and footprint size and a location on the park?
So we just engaged an architect on Friday to start that process, so, and they've done council facilities before. They showed us the sketch done of, the Lancaster Park, so Shepherd and Rout, that's in their name, so we've engaged with them, because first I guess we need their,
There's current change facilities in the middle of the park.
Yes. Well, I think you would look at, you would look at Namwick Park as a green space first, look at the facilities and like sewage and power and so forth. But also from a lighting perspective, utilisation, so you're not interrupting with the neighbours. So there's a whole work to be done, and hence the reason the best thing to do is actually have a master plan for that entire green space. From there, you learn about how the fields and any other supporting services can support that. So it's, right from the ground up and doing the job properly, so they can, so we're not investing in the wrong areas.
Yep.
So was any other location discussed, or did you just come all straight to Namwick Park?
Well, we actually, as Sam highlighted that we started with 23 different organisations. So we looked at all parks and areas within the northwest area and looked at the strengths and weaknesses. But we also then, how we got to Namwick is because of the strong interest from, I think we had 8 or 9 groups at our last meeting, and there are a few others who are interested too. In regards to working in Namwick Park is the first, I suppose, project for us to look at, and emphasise that Namwick Park is a utilised space. We did look at Harewood Park, and a number of others, but in regards to allowing for growth and allowing for more people to utilise, Namwick Park was the obvious choice, and that's where the clubs came together.
Cool. Yep.
Jason, just in case anyone here doesn't know, Richard's ex-council staff, so he knows the system pretty well.
Yeah.
So just, it's always helpful that people kind of go, what is he talking about?
Yeah, so only thing I could really add there is, I think Angela Leatherby does kind of engage with you guys. If you find there's any sticking points with any of the information that council staff are kind of asking you or questions around that, feel free just to reach out to us and we'll be able to see if we can help out to smooth some of those out if and when necessary. Other than that, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome, thank you. Cheers.
Right, next up, Charlotte, you'd like to come and take a seat?
It's a hard act to follow, that one. Well done, guys. Right, Belfast Area Residents Association, we'd like to propose a district sign being put up.
You put that.
Paper
Who's
available.
driving that one?
It's all about branding. So not only are we the northern gateway to Christchurch, we're also the fastest expanding community in Christchurch. So in order to facilitate that and create a more cohesive community, we thought that a nice bright sign would be good to go. This is just an example. This is actually in Belfast, Ireland, and but we would be a lot smaller scale. But I quite like the concept of maybe being sister, bringing back our Irish heritage back from the 1800s when we were founded. It's not an overly complicated sign. It's still very modern, and we can put a coating on it for anti-graffiti coating. So we've got 3 potential locations. If you just scroll through, there's the Northwood sign. Yeah, just to give you an example. So you go into our kind of area. Northwood used to be part of Belfast, but now we've got nothing. So this was one particular location. It's on the corner of Johns Road and Main North Road where we used to have our billboards. And we've got a developer owner that owns it. It's only 70 square metres, can't be built on, but could be a potential really good reserve area that he could do in his development contributions, quid pro quo. That's got profile to Main North Road and Johns Road, right in the heart of it. And if you scroll to the next page, I've just got a little bit of a map. There's a cross there on the left-hand side corner of Johns Road, Main North Road, which is that location I just discussed. The other location to the right-hand side is Belfast Road and Blake's Road. So you kind of come off the motorway and into Belfast, and that's big soak pit area, stormwater swale.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's nice and open as well, could be easily put up. And the other two locations either side of the road is as you enter Belfast, there's actually a big sign up there saying Christchurch already. So we could maybe swing that into something fasty. So that's really it. It was just to see if the council would have an appetite for us to put on something on council reserve land, and how that works with the community, who contributes what and what's fair and reasonable, and that's really looking for some guidance.
Any questions from anyone? Trish?
Just curious to know if you have chosen simple Belfast rather than I love Belfast. People can make photos and stories.
I know, right? We try not to be too tacky. I just want it to last a little bit longer, but it's worth it.
And so your top choice, if it was to go ahead, which of those three possible locations would you prefer, the main Johns Road and Main North Road one?
Yes, I would prefer that, but it's a little bit more complicated because there's still purchasing to go on and that sort of stuff. But look, we could make a questionnaire for the community and see what they felt was best and what's simplest. But I'm not expecting it to happen tomorrow or next year. Maybe the year after would be really.
Yeah.
There we go.
Aaron?
Any idea what it's made of?
I was thinking metal,
Yeah.
and then we would galvanize it and then paint it with quite a shiny. It was even suggested we could use a glow paint.
Right.
It kind of glows at night underneath it. So that could be cool. But on that particular Main North Road, Johns Road corner, we've actually got power there already because we used to light up the billboards. So that's a nice, easy one. But you still got to watch about neighbours, etc. We're very conscious about that, but just throwing some thoughts out there.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to get to that. Thanks. No, when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So what we can do is we'll get you in touch with Natalie, and then we'll get staff to provide us some guidance on what exactly we need to do to find out permissions, access, budgets, funding, all the various things we need to find out around whether we can do that or not, and then costs and all those things. So yeah, we'll put you in touch and then work through that process and see where we get to.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in. That's a great idea. Right. Number 5, we have no deputations, we have no petitions, and then that moves us on to staff reports. So item 7, Roydvale Avenue. All right, you guys want to come and take a seat?
Happy to move.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi again. I haven't been here for a little while. And to also introduce Gautam. You've probably seen Gautam quite recently. Yeah. Other things, but he's back into the traffic operations team, which I'm pleased about. And so he's now going to be the area engineer for Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood. Yeah.
Welcome, thank you.
Best area in town, Gautam. Thank you.
Might be biased. Great. Oh, is there any other information other than what's in the report that you guys wanted to give us, or?
No, pretty standard. As we know, it's a T intersection. We have no stopping restrictions already. With the parking demand, there has been some feedback regarding people parking close to the intersection as well. So we feel that extending it a bit 10 meters north would space for 1 or maybe maximum 2 cars. That would help with visibility a bit at this location.
Okay, cool. All right. So we had a mover and seconder for that one. Was that Nicola and Aaron?
Yeah.
All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thanks very much, guys. And then we move, and you may as well stay in the hot seat. Number 8 on the agenda was the Wairakei Road, Stanley Road,
Happy to move.
open restrictions.
Happy to second.
Yeah, you don't have anything else to add? If you could take it as read, we've all had a read through the report and it seems to make sense, so.
Yep, I mean, just one thing is it's not no stopping lines. We are just, as you might have seen, it's the no stopping signs
Yeah.
because of the grass area and the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right, well, Aaron's happy to move.
Happy to second.
Suresh happy to second. All in favour? Against? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Number 9, the discretionary response fund applications.
Happy to move.
Well, hang on a sec. I think that's the item where I am going to step back and you're going to, you just want to sit here and do it and I'll get out of the way or what?
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Old times.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
You just use the paper version.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, thank you. All right, we have the discretionary response fund. So we have, Katie, are you going to be presenting on that?
No.
Hey, just read, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Any questions for Natalie?
No.
Right.
Happy to move, or happy to second after there.
Cool. So Aaron, are you to move?
Yeah.
Yeah, and David a second? All those in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? No, carried. Cool. Is that me done?
Yep.
All right. Moving back to.
Thanks, Bridget.
So you Jason.
Item 10, Summer with Your Neighbours, applications 2024-2025. Katie.
I might just sit back because there is Apsley Drive application, which is not too far from where I live. And also another place, which is also near to me, so I'll sit back.
Sure.
Ah.
Do you want to, do we need to know that? Yeah. Oh, yours?
Yeah, I'll take the report as read and just hear if you've got any questions.
Yeah, any questions around any of that from anybody?
Yeah, that's great. Cool.
Right, can we get a?
Happy to move.
Happy to move. David, happy to second. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thanks very much for that. Number 11 on the agenda, the Community Board Area Report. Natalie,
Yes.
is that you today?
Yeah. We'll take it as read, but it's good to see that there's a regular flow of youth applications coming in again and they're starting to get out and about and be more active. And likewise, the local staff are getting out and about and having meetings with community groups. So they're stimulating a lot more activity out there. So don't know if it's a spring thing or not, but yeah.
Anyone got any questions on the area report for Natalie?
Not the report itself, but have you heard how the directory work for Evenhead has gone? Because we started with one side and now we have Evenhead going on.
Oh, okay.
I know, so we've had a few meetings and we're in the collation stage at the moment, so there's been a few responses and Karen and Petra and I have been working together to collate some responses, so we'll need you and you're going to start looking over it too to check that we've got everything, because we might miss some things, but it's going well. We're hoping to have it finished October-ish. So, yeah.
It's one of those things you're getting people from outside the area saying, oh, it's great. Can we be part of it too? And it's like, well, it's for this area. So everybody's wanting one.
It is really hard.
A positive reinforcement that
Yeah.
they see the value in what's happening.
And there'll be possibly lots of groups that miss being in it too, because, you don't know, so that,
Second
it can
edition.
flow on. So, but we're relying on everyone to help give us all.
It's great at stimulating the conversation in the community. So.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Right, well, I'll move the.
Oh, sorry, Jason.
Joe Sam?
It was just around, and it was in Harewood, in that, so what page are we on, page 52. There's a massive increase in road and footpath complaints. And it looks like something to do with vehicle crossings, road to property. Do we know what that's about? Just seems quite high.
If it's vehicle crossings, it might just be the subdivision.
Oh, okay. that we.
Can we find?
But we'll follow up on that,
Follow up,
yeah.
yeah.
Because there is the corner of Langdon's and Greer's is being done, and there's a few road cones out in our neck of the wood at the moment, so it could be something to do with some of those.
Yeah, it'd be good to find out, because it'd be interesting if there is actually a problem we can potentially fix. Yeah.
Yeah, because Sam's right, because these are incident categories. So these are people phoning, snaps in, so sending in. These aren't just jobs for vehicle crossings, or shouldn't be.
No.
So that's a bit alarming. It could be.
Just because it's under that one, underneath it, it's got 74 tickets for vehicle crossings, which was up 58 tickets. It sort of just seems quite.
Like a new subject, but is it one or two people?
It'd be good to find out, because if there's a way to fix, or, reduce them, it's everyone wins.
Because every inquiry counts as a ticket, so it's.
Yeah. So be cool.
All right.
Right.
Mover on that one.
I'm happy to move.
Happy to move. I'll second it. All in favour? Against? Carried. Right, that moves on to the last item on the agenda, elected members information exchange. Anyone got anything they want to raise?
Probably the key thing at the moment is, so council are going through a review of the transport program. So the government have come out and announced what they will fund and what they won't. It effectively means Harewood Road will not be funded by the government, that the cycleway will not be funded, which you would expect, so the council staff or the planners will know that from, just reading the tea leaves, I guess. So that will all be sort of something that happens probably later this year. Our kind of view is that, there will have to be some consultation if they decide to go ahead with it. So we can't see, and Aaron, Jamie and I've talked about it, and Phil was just, if council are going to fully fund this now, we have to go back out to the community, because you can't expect.
Can't have $20 million.
Yeah, another $20 million on something they actually don't want anyway. So it's more just to put that on people's radar. That'll be an issue that comes up.
Because the estimated cost is up to, is it 39 or 36 or something?
35 the other day, but that's very high level and hasn't actually been costed out yet.
Not really. No.
So,
Could be materially different from that.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, transport's probably the thing between now and Christmas that's worth just keeping on everyone's radar.
Anything else from anybody? There's one thing from, you get that?
Position to that, try to get some lights up.
So lights are in the budget for this year to be delivered as a standalone project. So we've got 2 million on budget for that. Victoria, Mark and I met with Hamish today. So not in the public domain, I'll give you an update on what that, but it's a very good conversation around those traffic lights. So.
Nice. One from me is and this very high level again, is we got some initial feedback from staff around the possibility of a shared path down Radcliffe Road. But essentially what it was is that they need to seek legal advice, like detailed legal advice around the possibility for liability if they put a shared path and goes along there and there's an accident at level crossing. So they're seeking kind of detailed advice on that, but other than that, that's all we've got to go on at the moment. Anything else
One from me, I think I've written to Marian about it. The roundabout work at Waimāero-Graham's, where we converted the temporary speed bumps to permanent. It has been one of the smoothest project I have seen, because I drive every day. We didn't even notice when it got done. It was done during the night. So kudos to all the staff. Gautam has gone.
So we should do more of them. Is that what you're telling Aaron?
No.
No. But the way it was done was very efficient.
Yeah.
So kudos to the staff.
Well done. That's good. All right. Nothing from anyone else. We will then finish with a karakia and close the meeting.
Can I speak up something about
This isn't the right forum. We'll have a chat after the meeting's closed. This isn't, there's not an option to have a public forum available right now. So we'll just finish the meeting up and then we can have a chat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we'll stand for the karakia.
Una
here, ki te uru tapanui,
kia pātea, kia mama, te nākau, te tinana, te wairua, I te ara takata, koia ana e roma, whakakaira ake ki ona, kia tina, ui e taike.
Very good, right, everybody. We will announce that meeting closed at